many of you have gone skinny dipping? No, I'm not talking about that skinny dipping. However, now I'm curious, so do tell me in the comments below. But really, I'm talking about skinny-fying some of those crudité and chip partners like ranch dressing and artichoke and spinach dip. Any success with that? Well, while I'm not going to be recreating those into healthier versions, what I'm going to do is dip into new territory. See what I did there? Thanks to Recipe Redux, I was given the task to utilize herbs and spices that people tend to neglect in the spice aisle. Come on now, they have feelings too. Okay, no they don't. Well, anyways, I wound up selecting coriander and allspice. Do you know how to use them? Coriander's situation is much like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde in that it's actually cilantro. Personally, I don't think either identity is evil, but to those who think cilantro tastes like soap, then yeah, they may be the devil. Coriander actually forms after the cilantro blooms and forms seeds. And guess what? Regardless of what you select, cilantro and coriander have antibacterial properties that fight off salmonella. Now, I'm not going to test this theory, and neither should you, but if it is in fact true, that's pretty sweet. Speaking of sweet, the other not so popular spice I selected for this challenge is allspice. While you might think this is a spice that's a mixture of a whole bunch of different things, it's actually a dried fruit. And while this spice definitely has a place in baking, it always tends to play the supporting role. But today, I'm gonna make it the star. I wonder if it can handle it. All right, I don't know about you guys, but I'm ready to dip in. Of course, I said it again. So first things first, I'm going to make the dip that I created in my brain using coriander first, because this is a savory one, and you know, you're supposed to eat your savories before your sweets. Not necessarily sure who came up with this rule, but I'm gonna stick to it today. What I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna use my Cuisinart food processor, and I am going to combine some steamed eggplant with some green bell peppers and some artichokes. We're also gonna add some vegetable stock. I'll give all of you the proper measurements in the description below. And then of course we're gonna use some pepper, a sprinkle of salt, and then the secret ingredient, coriander. It smells very interesting. We're gonna see how this works. We're being very liberal with it over here. All right, we got this nice and securely on, so now let's go. Ooh, this is looking really good. I'm really impressed with myself. I think the true test is for me to sample it to see if it actually tastes good. So I have a spoon here and I'm gonna try. Ooh, I like it. You know, I think what it's missing is a little garlic. Put a lot in there. You're not gonna be making out with anyone after this, that's for sure. Okay, it smells really good. Now, since this dip is just for me, I'm gonna use the same spoon. That definitely made it better. Now, if you wanted to make it a little thicker, you could add a little olive oil to this. However, I'm gonna keep it nice and light because we are skinny dipping right now. What you would do is you would put this in a serving bowl and you could serve it with crudité, chips, crackers. Personally, what I would do, I would dip chicken in it because I'm weird like that. Yeah. That's what I do. Or turkey. You could serve this at Thanksgiving and have it as a side with your turkey. I think I'm gonna do that. Woo! I'm so pumped now. And you know what? The coriander really does make a difference. So success number one. Now let's move on to this sweet dip that I'm gonna make. You know, usually I don't use food processors because they're really obnoxious to clean, but this was probably the easiest cleanup ever. So now we're gonna move on to my sweet dip, which is going to include pumpkin, because I mean, it is that season. I'm obsessed with pumpkin. Let's be real, so are you. And we all know that allspice in pumpkin pie tastes delicious. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to add some pumpkin into the food processor, about a half a can, because I ate the other half last night at midnight. What? What's your weird midnight snack? Because mine's a can of pumpkin. Seriously though, sitting there like this. That's what I do. There are worse things in life, right? Now, we are going to add a little protein powder because, as you guys know, I'm super obsessed with this stuff. I'm just gonna add a scoop. We're gonna put about a teaspoon of vanilla. Give it a little extra something, something. I'm gonna also add about a half a cup of coconut milk, or maybe even a fourth a cup. And then, of course, I'm going to add some allspice. I'm gonna say that was about a tablespoon. So now I'm just gonna mix it up and see what I need to add because I've actually never made this before. So you guys are experiencing this firsthand with me. All right, let's what this tastes like. Oh, stop it. Seriously? What did I just make? It literally does not need anything. I don't know why people don't just use allspice as their seasoning. That stuff is good. Whoa. It is definitely taking the starring role in this recipe. The only thing I would suggest is maybe putting another scoop of protein powder in it. But really, it doesn't need anything else. Now, some vehicles you could use to dip into this heavenly magic. Well, I mean, you could be naughty and use crackers and cookies and all that stuff. But I'm gonna suggest you use pumpkin chips. I mean, pumpkin on pumpkin is just pumpkin amazingness. Duh. Or you could be weird like me and use chicken again. I just love chicken so much. I don't know what's wrong with me. I am just a chicken freak. But I'm not a chicken, so there. I am not what I eat. Hot Mess Kitchen right here. I should rename my show to Hot Mess Kitchen because this is a hot mess. Or is it even hot? It could be a disgusting mess. So I do believe my recipe redux challenge was a success. My taste buds and stomach completely agree. Hopefully yours do too. Coriander and allspice, my new faves. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and come back next week because I always have a weird, quirky, interesting video. So yeah, I am going to have some of my, what is this, a martini? Ha 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 ha. Bye. That was delicious.